friends, and welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. To the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Online at impactpowersportsmi.com. The good folks over there have sponsored the studio. You can find them in Rockford, Michigan, along 14 Mile Road. Fantastic place to just go check out what are the possibilities, the fun stuff that they have at Impact Power Sports, whether it's an ATV, UTV, motorcycle, e-bike, maybe a Yamaha golf cart. They have it all at Impact Power Sports under new ownership, but you'll see a lot of the same familiar faces over there. So that is so cool. Thank you so much to them for being on board with the show. It's another Monday victory, Victory Monday, as I should say, as it has been for the past several Mondays. Now 9 Victory Mondays in a row with your Detroit Lions. All of them happening after we spoke with Kyle from a company that used to market themselves on this podcast. Chris says, "We are the Lions. We bow to no one." Are we going to bust those nuts? Joe's awful quiet these days. Joe Martinez. I think he realizes it's time to, enough with this nonsense of dying on this hill that the Lions suck. There's probably only a handful of people in the audience who exist like that with that bad vibe about the Lions, as they are now 10-1 on the year. They will play on Thursday for Thanksgiving against the Chicago Bears. I fucking hate the Bears. They were playing the Vikings yesterday, and it's in the Lions' best interest to root for the team that's playing against the Vikings because they're right behind the Lions. They're very good as well. But I'm like, fuck that. It's the Bears, those pieces of shit. And it's because their fans are so idiotic. They just annoy the shit out of me. At least when the Lions sucked, we all knew they sucked. We didn't care. Bears fans are so dumb. They think that they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. So annoying. Let's get right to the update on the great food giveaway. Number 5 with tampons. It was a busy weekend. I got a enormous donation from a sweet soul named Levi and his family. I don't know if I've met or heard from this person in the past. He sent along $500. Thank you also, as the weekend wound down or got started even, to Patrick, Stevie, another Patrick. I got 2 Patricks. Rich C., Kevin Kuipers, Sarah Rook-Ruck-Roosh, and Maureen. We are at $1,483.46 in the books. Thank you so much to all of you. And I see already in the comments, well, that makes mine look like a pittance. Look, everybody's situation is different. And I have never, ever, I think you need to be looking at just sheer number of people donating the 5s and the 10s and the 15s and the 20s. We are thankful for every single dollar that comes in. It's about the person and the thought behind it. Doesn't matter how we get there as a group. So if somebody wants to say, hey, I'm dropping 500 on us or on the group, hey, do it. We can't be worried about how it looks. We don't care. I don't care about any of that. I don't look at anybody any differently. I probably shouldn't even have mentioned the amount because, I don't want to make anybody feel bad. And since a lot of the audience are kind of bitches, I maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. I'm totally kidding. But, I'm not. I don't even like to say I'm kidding because then I feel like free beer. I give everybody shit. It's cool. Megan is requesting that a sharing of the Facebook post will help. Let's reach the people. There is one on Irvine's page and will be one on Eric's page soon, too. She's right. Because now because we will raise all the money we need to actually buy the food and get all the tampons that we need. It's important that people who need this type of assistance get the message. The worst thing is to have all of this stuff, and then there we are playing slap and tickle on the side of the street, and no one's there. So now we have to spread the word, and maybe like when you share it, add the comment, free Christmas meal for those in need. Like start it. You got to grab them with that headline. Free is a good way to start. Free Christmas meal for those in need. Because if you share it on your social media, you can also add a comment. So do it that way. And thank you, as always, for these efforts that help get the word out. Megan and all of you, you're very kind. Chris says, we will somehow overcome without the Zaniacs dentist fund money. Yeah, this is our third year without the trash. And it's been fantastic. The first year, we were only a few months removed from all of those losers leaving. And I went ahead and doubled the amount of food that we wanted to raise just to point out that, hey, we don't need that shit. We don't need your trash. And we had more food than we could give away. So we dialed it back last year, back to 100. That wasn't enough. This year, 150. And maybe next year, 200. Because after this being our fifth year, a lot of people now are used to it. They're like, okay, if I get out there, I can get a free meal for my family. So you're going to get a lot of return customers to a point where, as we've built this thing, as the years progress, it's going to be an onslaught. We will have to raise the amount of food. So the goal will be next year, I'll just say it right now, up to 200, back up to 200. Because now the demand is meeting the amount that we are able to gather to be given away. Tampons continue to be delivered. Tampons, pads, and menstrual cups, which there's no real great name for those. But that is a product that females use when it comes to taking care of that very personal time. People are like, easy, what's up with that? Yeah, I follow the lead on a lot of things. And Megan is the leader on all of this. Okay? I'm just the eye candy. I'm just the ding-dong talking about it. She said, I would like to add that we raise money and product to give these things to underprivileged families. Is that to, underprivileged moms and daughters and children, whatever, who, this gets expensive. Megan says the menstrual cups are reusable, so that's helpful for those in need. So, thus, we added the tampons to it. There is a link to the Amazon wish list Now, if you go to the Amazon wish list and you buy any of the products, which I'll share with you in just a second, and I'm posting the link in the chat to the Amazon wish list for these products. You can buy one or all of them or whatever you feel like spending your money on. And then when you go to have them mailed, you will send it to Irvine's Auto Repair in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I think the best way to do it is just search out their address and you can add it in there. Because somebody earlier had asked, hey, it wants to send them to my house. You can change the address on your account. Just make sure that you change it back. Because the next time you buy something, you know, a fleshlight might be sent to Irvine's. I'm looking at you, Stu McAllister. We've stalled on the amount of feminine hygiene products. We're kind of stuck at the same spot. So if you head to the page, add them to your cart. If you were to buy all of these products, it's just north of $42. I mentioned Stu McAllister. Stu has had a horrible period of time this past week. He lost his puppy dog. His dog, Sadie, passed away. Now, I know there's been a lot of comments about the time that Stu yelled at the dog on his podcast, but Stu loves his dogs very much. The dog, Stu would take the dogs with him when he's delivering dots. And I'm probably speaking out of school here, but just keep Stu in mind because he was like, you know, hours away from home, and Sadie was with him in the car, and she passed away, like right there. So, I mean, that's fucking awful. He's driving along, and then he's like, goes to pet the dog, and that, oh boy, you know. Hopefully the Bills win. Knowing the Bills, you know what they're going to do? The Bills are going to go ahead and, like, it'll be the first thing that, Stu can feel good about post this traumatic event. And then they'll go to the Super Bowl or something, like, and get raped by the Lions. Poor Bills fans. Look, I'll say this. When it comes to football, the teams that have to win Super Bowls, Lions, Bills, Browns. Those are franchises that, I mean, if the Bills and the Lions were in the Super Bowl, which could happen, one of those starving franchises is going to win the Super Bowl. That's incredible. Chris says, man, get out of here. The Bills went to like 4 straight, didn't they? Yeah, they did. And that's the heartache. By the way, it's worth it to watch the documentary, The Four Falls of Buffalo. It's a great documentary about the fans going to 4 straight, them going to 4 straight Super Bowls. And, fucking it up every single time. Condolences pouring into Stu. I can't imagine having to drive back home in that situation. I'm so sorry, Stu. We are hoping for a Pellerito-less great food giveaway. Just getting out in front of that. We are not interested in Mike's assistance. We hope Mike does not show up. There's nothing we can do if he does. But I'm really hoping he is discouraged from doing that. No one in the group was impressed with what he did last year. And hopefully he'll get the message that no one in the group is really interested in him being a part of the Great Food Giveaway. The only Pellerito who can show up is someone without the last name or without the first name Mike. No one is interested in Mike being there, stirring up trouble like he likes to do. Mike's not there last year to be a nice guy. You know? Linda says, can his brother tell him to stay away, please? I don't know. I like Joe. I do not like Mike. And I hope I never have to see him or hear from him ever again. Joe Martinez is here. He wrote, how about Michigan losing? Yeah, there's no way Michigan's going to lose to Northwestern. We all had hopes, but come on now. Big weekend for Michigan football. It's a great thing to bring up because the biggest game in college football is going on this week in Columbus. The game. College Game Day will be there doing their show. There's not much luster on the game because Michigan is going to one of those, one of those bowl games that not a lot of people care about because they've won 6 and whatever. Michigan fan hoping for better things with that quarterback that they get from I forget what the name of the school is. I don't even know his name. I don't even know what school. I just know he's got $12 million, and he's a 5-star recruit. He better not suck. That's a lot of pressure on a young guy, you know? Belleville, Bryce Underwood is his name. His team did not win a state finals, is not going to the state finals this year. I wonder what the hell happened. Mooney, 2256, is here. Says, what did Mike P. do last year at Great Food Giveaway? By the way, I'm fairly new listening to the show on Twitch. Thank you so much for being here. Mooney, 2256. Years ago, the Eric Zane Show podcast had a falling out with a number of these undesirables. It was about half a dozen to a dozen people who would bogart the chat, a lot of bullying, a lot of horse shit, driving audience away, and really causing quite a ruckus with their quote-unquote support. Numerous stalking incidents to your old pal EZ, leading to me to have to call the police and begin the process of getting a personal protection order. Just when it was all said and done, and finally we had our moment where they were able to finally get out and not come back, with people that were very helpful in the past, but then became a little bit too clingy and too possessive. They helped me build the studio. They did a lot of great things. And then they got a little bit too into it. It was kind of like a cult. But I was a leader of the cult and didn't want to be a leader of the cult. Ben says, did you mention the creepiness from Dean? Oh, my God. So many examples. I could spend an entire show digging up these old bones about the creepy things that would go on. The unwanted visits. Things like that. Very, very awkward, strange. Years pass. last year at the Great Food Giveaway. The ladies are at the corner asking people as they pass by to turn down here, down the street, Stafford, and go get some free food. Eventually, we reached out to them and said, ladies, we're all out of food. Come on back and let's just hang out. They walked back. Pellerito had been stalking the women at the corner. And then when they were gone, he put on a Santa Claus suit and went in their place and continued to tell traffic to turn down the street to go get free food. However, we didn't have any food to give away. People started to leave the Great Food Giveaway, and fuckface is still on the corner. I'm starting to get calls from people who are leaving saying, yeah, fucking Pellerito's on the corner telling people to come get free food. And we're like, oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't talk about it right away because I knew he'd be rounding up his posse of fucking toothless shitheads. But eventually the word started to trickle in on this show. And so now here we are 1 year later. Will we see that fucking dick by the corner again? Joe Martinez says, did you ask your wife about the beat? He means bet. I'm not sure what that, I think Mike is, or Joe is referring to my bet that I threw out last week to him, and then I heard nothing. I made the offer to our pal, Joe Martinez. Thanksgiving, $100 on the line. You get the Bears plus 10.5. I think that's the line. Put your money where your mouth is. He did not accept the bet. He said nothing. He was suspiciously quiet. And he says, yes, I asked you if you asked your wife. Well, I don't have to. So I still am asking you if you will accept the bet. I have not yet heard whether you will or you will not. My offer still stands. I am offering the Bears plus 10.5. Do you accept? You can have the Bears. You can have Caleb Williams. You can have 10.5 points. You can have all of that. If you accept that bet, we are in business. Now, whether you choose to accept that is up to you. I'm guessing you won't, because you know that Detroit is a goddamn buzzsaw and is going to forcibly bone Chicago. This all started because Ding Dong said the Lions will lose on Thanksgiving to Chicago. In fact, let's do the Thursday-Saturday. Let's do this. Hang on. Put on my glasses here. I will give you 20.5 points and Michigan. So that means $100 Thursday football. And then whoever wins that bet, double or nothing on the following game. So that would mean if you win the Thursday game, and then I win Ohio State, Michigan, you owe me $0. But if you win the Bears bet and then you win the Michigan bet, you win $200. I say I'm giving you the Bears and 10.5. And then I'm giving you Michigan and 20.5. You cock. And when I win both of those, I get free tune-ups for a year. Fuck you. What a gift I am giving you. I am so benevolent and amazing. Jesus Christ. 10.5 in the Bears? What moron wouldn't do that? I give you Bears 10.5, and then I give you Michigan 20.5. I await your response. You can even say it in Spanish. You fuck. Joe says you wouldn't even bet on the Michigan and Michigan State game. Well, so what? So what? It's a perfect opportunity for you to make a fresh $200. And hell, if the Bears cover or win outright, you got nothing to lose at that point. God, I'm a fucking betting genius. Chris says, easy, don't get excited about the Griffins. It's early. He's referencing Joe. All right. In fact, I've got some great hockey stories from the weekend in a few minutes. I want to update the Fatathon. Joe says, I'm off the rest of the week. I have to go tomorrow for the first round. Maybe I'll answer you then when I'm out of my mind. Medical procedure for our pal Joe. He says, didn't they lose on Friday? Joe was at the Griffins game on Friday, and I was there making loser signs with my arms and my fingers, calling him a loser while he's sitting in the stands. Here's the update on the Fatathon. As you know, 10 weeks ago, we started keeping track of the weight loss of these two behemoths, Jeremy and Kenny. Kenny had started down the path to being less disgusting much like longer ago, earlier in the year. Kenny's first weight was 360. Jeremy started, in fact, 10 weeks ago to the day. He was 335.4. So we've been chronicling each week how much weight they lose each week, trying to keep these fuckers motivated and going in the right direction. And that is minus. And they've been very successful. A little gentleman's bet between them as to who can be more successful each week in the pounds that they burn off week to week. Last week, Kenny had a fucking great week, and he was down 3.8. That put him at 312 pounds. This week, he continues to drop as we go into Thanksgiving week. He is down 0.6, so not a lot, but he's still down. His total weight now is 311.4. That means that since he started doing this, which was before I started keeping track, I mean, he did that on his own. He's doing all of this on his own. I'm just talking about it. He has dropped a total of 48.6 pounds. That's a lot. Last week, Jeremy was up. He was putting a bad week where he had to bury his dad, Feach. He gained 5.7 pounds, and that put him up back over 300.6. However, this week. He's back with a vengeance. He dropped 7.6, motherfucker. In fact, that 7.6 is the largest 1 week drop in all of this. In 10 weeks, that is your biggest drop in weight. Wait a minute. I take it back. No, the first week you dropped all that water weight. But it's second most real weight, you know? But anyway, so that's fantastic. And that puts him at the lowest he's been in a long, long time. 293.6 pounds. He has dropped a total of 41.8. That means in 10 weeks of these two going belly to belly, Jeremy is 8-2. Now listen to me, you fucks. This is Thanksgiving week. So I want hard work today, full-on intermittent fasting. I want hard work and good food choices and move as much as possible. Hang on, I got to get rid of these fucking cheap viewers bots. I don't want them here. Messing me up. Distracting as hell. Anyway, I want good food choices leading up to Turkey Day. And then Turkey Day is Turkey Day. I mean, come on now. I want you to actually get to a point this week where in 1 week, we're talking about a weight loss. I don't even care if it's 0.1 pounds. You got to get past the holidays without having a fucking meltdown. So you're burning calories, you're walking, you're going to lift some weights, maybe do some body weight exercises like some squats, weightless squats, maybe some push-ups. And then, take your walks. And don't eat like a cock. And we'll reconvene on Monday with even better news. 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 minute at a time for you two individuals. Kenny, seriously, there's a chance that this winter you're going to be less than 300 pounds. Got to have goals, buddy. All right, that is your Fat-a-thon update. Now, for the audience that are enjoying the show on Facebook and YouTube, I'm going to kick you out. If you want to watch the show as it happens live, for the rest of this show, you have to do it on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. You get the show uninterrupted on there. Or download the Twitch app on your mobile device. And all one word, search Eric Zane Live, and then you can watch the show that way. You can subscribe and get it commercial free. You can do that by either linking up your Amazon Prime account every single month, or you can pay for it. I don't know what it costs, but it's a handful of dollars. My Patreon is available if you want more podcasting. I put 15 to 20 additional hours a week on my Patreon. You can sign up at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. You can get it for free for 7 days. All you have to do is sign up, you put in your credit card payment, and then cancel it right after so that you don't get inadvertently charged at the end of the 7 days. Well, easy. What if I like it and I want to continue after the 7 days? Go back into your account, re-enable the card, and then away we go. $5 a month for the audio, $10 a month for the audio, video, live streams. $10 a month is the only way you can get my live shows on Patreon. Everything else otherwise is pre-recorded. I will say also that if you really want to save some money, I'll knock 10% off of the cost if you want my Patreon for 1 full year, which just pay it once and it's out of the way. And what was $60 a year for all of the audio, Tier 1, that is $54. Tier 2, what was $120 is now $108 at patreon.com/Eric Zane. If you want to say hello, you can drop me a line via email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Thank you so much to Shoreliners Striping for being part of the show. Twitch and Facebook brought to you by